Good evening, YouTube world. I'm your host, Paul Italia. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Welcome back, everybody. Been gone for the holidays, had an amazing holidays, had the family come out to California, got some great quality time catching up with everybody, got to exchange gifts and hang out with great friends and all. So kind of just took a break from social media, YouTube, and all that for the last month. Felt great, needed to recharge and all. But now I'm back, guys. Got forget about it, up and running. Got my first job the other day, so I want to keep everybody posted up with that. Also, got a bunch of content going to be releasing, showing me picking out my new office space, got my new yard, and of course, the first job. I didn't get it to film it as I was going down. But I got the, right at the end when I got the full load, got paid, and took it over to the dump and all. It was a great experience. Really easy, 5-minute job. Got a couple $100, so I was pretty stoked about that. So just wanted to catch up with everybody. I'm gonna start getting my interviews going back every week. Gonna get somebody on. Been talking with Andrew Thompson. We're gonna get on, do some lives when we got some free time. I know he's down in SoCal. He's helping out with all the fires and all. So shout out to everybody in SoCal, sending my prayers and blessings down there. It's a real horrible thing going down there. Everybody losing their houses and all. So definitely show your support to others in our community that might be in SoCal and all. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce today's guest. He's an OG in junk removal industry. He's got a couple of businesses, one of them being Junk Guy Sacramento. It's been up and running since 2017. And he's driving home services, and it's SMS reactivation campaigns, and does a lot of great stuff with social media and getting out there with marketing. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Ivan Kravtsov. Here we go. Hey, Ivan, how are you today, brother?
What's going on, Paul? Not bad, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just told everybody, just kind of just chilled during the holidays. Had the family come in from the East Coast, got to kick back and just enjoy some quality time. So I kind of been MIA from, YouTube and Facebook and all. But I'm back now, and I'm going to be active and plan on putting out a lot of content. And want to kick it off with you, man. I got to meet you over at the Junk Expo a couple months back, and you definitely were one of the speakers that definitely caught my attention. Lots of great knowledge you were giving out that day, so I definitely want to catch up on that. But before we start off, I just want to find out about your background, how you kind of got into junk removal, and how many years have you been in the junk removal industry?
Absolutely, bro. Well, how's it going, everybody? My name is Ivan. I am Slavic. I am Russian, Ukrainian, almost 7 feet tall, 6'7". If you've seen me in person, you'd be amazed. I am. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been running different types of home service businesses for about 9 years now. I was about little backstory. I was a security guard when I was 20 years old. I was sitting at a desk and I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, man, is 15 like to me back then, my mindset was like $15 an hour. That's like top right there. That's like, man, that's good money. But then I started thinking, I'm like, man, if I want to build myself a future, I got to start like making more money. And I kind of stumbled upon a landscaping business, lawn care. And it's funny because all the way from 9 years old, I would go door to door knocking, mowing lawns with a weed whacker. If my lawnmower were broken, I would use a weed whacker. I would hustle. I would go door to door just to spend all that money at an arcade every single Sunday. So it doesn't matter what I would do, I would figure out how to make money. So home services was always in me. It came it came very natural to me. So I started landscaping, started a business here in California, ran that for about 2-3 years, something like that. Got fed up with California, honestly. Packed my truck, drove all the way across to Florida, started a business there, hustled there, made it work. And then got sick of the weather there. Hurricane came, and I'm like, I'm out. So I came back. On the way back, my dump trailer and my truck, they kind of broke down. Thank God I made it all the way home. And I got rid of my equipment, and my friend back in Florida, he planted a seed in me. He was like, "Hey man, I think you should look into this junk removal thing." And that's when the idea of it came. And I'm like, "Oh, people actually do this?" I'm like, "What?" So in landscaping jobs, we would basically load up our dump trailers, and I would haul this stuff off, and I'd press the button, and it would like all jump out. And I'm like, "Oh my god, this this seems like it's pretty freaking easy." I mean, compared to like, because we were doing landscaping construction, we were doing like paver patios, we were doing full yard installations, all that stuff. So pretty creative stuff, but it was very hard to scale. So I got this idea. I'm like, so I bought a dump truck instead of buying another truck and a dump trailer. I bought a dump truck, and then I just did some research. I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's a business here. I'm like, because I'm always creative. I always have new ideas, and I stumbled upon this junk removal thing. My first job I ever did from Thumbtack Leads back when it was still good. Right now, I don't recommend anyone to use it. But back then, my prices were cheap. It actually works if your prices are really cheap. But if your prices are normal with everyone else's, you're not going to get much luck there. My first job I ever did was about a 12 load job, full loads of green waste. And that's when the light bulb went off. I'm like, what? I can put two guys in a truck and just send them off to a job site, quote the job, you know what I mean? Charge based on space, based on volume. And then that's where my journey started. Honestly, in any business that I ever operated, I always looked at the top guys, the guys that are doing it the correct way, the just the best of the best. Like I'm like they have success, so I learn from them. You know, I don't copy, but I learn from them because why would I recreate the wheel? You know what I mean? So I've been running this junk removal business for about 7, 8 years, something like that. Eventually, you just stop counting. You know, time just flies. So I've been doing that for about 7, 8 years, and yeah, so my home service industry knowledge is very good. In the meantime of doing all of that, I was always intrigued by marketing, SEO, websites. I would always get in the way of my marketing agencies that I would hire. I would be like, I would know more information than them. It was funny. I would be like training them. You know, I'm like, did you check this? Did you check this? Did you check this? You know, so that's how I started. I started a marketing agency last year, and the rest is history. We've been working on our product for a long time, but yeah, that's a little bit about who I am, what I do. I'm just out here growing as you guys are growing. I'm building businesses as you guys are building businesses. So I don't position myself to know it all, but I'm here along for the ride.
Hell yeah. So there's a lot to unpack there. And before I do, I want to just shout out to a couple people in the chat. We got Richard. What's up, Richard? How you doing, brother? We got Sonoma Strong in the house. What's going on with my junk fam? How you doing, Matt and Jojo Vic? And just like you were saying, some of the top in the industry, there's a good example right there. Is they've been helping out so many people in the industry, including myself. I was came across their channel, about 6, 7 months ago, and that's how I found my entrance into the whole junk removal business. And
Yeah.
along that journey, I came across your channel. It was actually right after that Junk Expo. I was so impressed with the speech you gave. And I went and found your YouTube channel, and I just started binge watching it all. And I was like, "Oh wow, I had no idea, man! So much great content." So, again, man, where can people find you on YouTube? Because you definitely have a very valuable channel that especially for the newbies in the junk industry.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So I just go by my first name and last name, Ivan Kravtsov. I just left a comment in the chat, so if people want to copy that and paste it. Also, our company is called Thriving Home Services, so you can find us by typing in that, whether it's on Google or on YouTube. You'll find us that way.
So, you were just telling us kind of your background story and all, and you were saying that whenever you get into any new business, you start learning from the top, who's leading the industry and all. So I just want to kind of pick your brain, and can you give us some people that you might have followed along your junk removal journey and all?
Yeah, so when I started junk removal, I obviously I learned about Sonoma strong hauling a little bit later down the road, but when I started, in my brain, I look at it this way. I'm like, okay, so where do you want to rank? You want to rank in Google, number one. So you go there first and you do your study. You know what I mean? You research your competitors. So for me, it was always 1-800 got junk and Junk King. Junk King was always a little bit cheaper. 1-800 got junk. They basically are they're still the king of the market. So what I mean by that was I started to learn from them. I'm like, okay, well they charge based on volume. This is how they charge. They use these kind of trucks. They wear polo shirts. They present themselves in a good manner. You know what I mean? So this is what I mean by learning from the best. We learn the things that they do well, and maybe if they don't do things well, we can improve in certain areas. So that's what I mean by learning from the best. So I basically take what I see that works really well in the model. So I'm basically talking about the model. And then I follow the model to a T.
Can you give us some examples? Like, what's some things that you've learned from 1-800 Junk that you've implied into your own business that you've seen success with?
Yeah, so clean trucks, clean uniforms, polo shirts, the way that they present themselves with the client, they always want to go above and beyond. And they basically want to make themselves look like they're not even supposed to be in the junk removal industry. They're like in sales, you know what I mean? Because that's what they are. They're a sales company. Um, Basically, professionalism, just customer relationship, customer service. Those are the things that I've learned from them, and that's about it, honestly. And because I came from growing already other businesses like landscaping businesses, I basically already had some knowledge of business going into it, and then you just learn from other business people. It doesn't have to be in the same industry. So I what I did is I read a lot of books, Profit First, all that stuff. So
How did you get started? Like, I know you said you were into landscaping before, and you kind of just went and got a dump truck and started from there. But what I mean by is, what kind of marketing strategies did you do? Was it just kind of organic, word of mouth, yard signs? Were you depending on digital marketing? Where were you putting most of your
yeah,
time and effort?
yeah. So I tried. I just about tried all types of marketing methods that you can probably think of. I tried everything, everything. Um, so in landscaping, what worked in landscaping oftentimes back then was Home Advisors, Angie's List, even though it's super expensive, but it worked. It got you jobs, it kept you busy. So back then it was those things. Thumbtack leads normally worked. And then we'd have a website. We pay for a website, and then somehow we'd get found on website, and then we'd get leads from there. Um, I would always, from the get go, I would always be obsessed about SEO. Websites, SEO, I would be obsessed with it. Any sort of digital, um, like your business representation of your business online, I would be always obsessed with it. I would always figure it out. I'm like, okay, this is what needs to happen. Like this needs to be absolutely the best, because I knew that like Google's traffic was ridiculous. So when I started a junk removal business, I did a little bit of Thumbtack, got a little bit of leads from there, and then I started building websites. We built a bunch of websites. I was actually back then. I was actually the first client of JRA, so they basically called me up and we started running Google Ads with them. And back then, Google Ads was really really good. And then
So hold
you
on,
know,
let me hold you up for a minute because I want to kind of like digest it all. So when you first begun, did you have capital, or were you kind of lean with cash and all, and you had to kind of
oh,
save?
super lean,
Okay, so
super lean. So my backstory was I came from a family poverty, not a lot of money, and I'm still taking huge risks with finances. I'm still growing, still not very like successful the way that I want to be. I've had some success, obviously, but back then, very, very limited amounts of money. So everything that would come in, I would take and I would just put it back into the business, back into the business, back into the business. Back into the business back then meant like either spending it on Google Ads or spending it on leads, something that would keep the ball rolling, keep the ball rolling. So that's what I
So
did.
what I meant also was like, you have to pay for a website, or did you make your own website at the beginning?
No, no, I always found companies that I hired for that to build websites. So I would who knows, I don't remember how much I paid back then. But JRA built me a website before in the past. I spent a shitload of money with them. They honestly, nothing bad to say about them, but mm, they didn't really know what the hell they were doing back then. Honestly, they'll tell you that themselves.
So how long did it take for you to start, getting business, start where your phone just started ringing on a regular basis, or did it just happen right away for you?
My process of growth was very slow, especially in the market that I'm at, Sacramento. Very difficult market to crack. It's always been a very difficult market. The saturation here is through the roof, and it's just a tough market. It's just a tough market. So, I mean, jobs basically. I'm a go getter. So I would basically go out and I'd hustle. I'd figure out ways to get business. How I did it, who knows, man. I did flyers, I did door hangers, I did anything that you can think of, but most of the time we relied on Google Ads. And most of the time back then, when you started running Google Ads, it worked pretty well. Like leads started coming in, like pretty, yeah, like pretty much on autopilot. Yeah, back
Can you
then.
give us an idea of how much you were dropping on Google Ads weekly at the beginning?
Oh, in the beginning, man, it was a lot, dude. It was probably like like two to 3,000 per week.
And how were you affording this at the beginning?
Well, it
You
was
were just
paying. It was paying for itself.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
were-
would basically pay for itself. We would be getting jobs from it. Yeah,
And was it being profitable at that
back then,
markup,
yes.
or you were kind of
But
breaking even?
yeah, back then it was. Yeah, back then it was profitable. It definitely. I mean, breaking even. I mean, after bills, after obviously my own bills that I had to pay, definitely breaking even. Yeah. It was never like, oh wow, there's like such a huge amount of cushion that you live off of. Back then it was actually a lot easier to run Google Ads. Right now, holy crap. Like yeah, no matter what anyone tells you about Google Ads, man, it's like you need some cash to run
What
those
what
things.
what has changed? Is it the saturation of the industry?
I've heard I've this is just what I've heard. This is not proof. I've heard Google raise their rates 3x. I've heard they and this you can and they've been basically, if you do the study of like Google search and how they're like they're doing less and less organic results. They're doing more and more ads. You have Google local guaranteed ads, you have Google search ads, you have the three map pack, and then with the one ad in there. So there's a lot of ads, man. And they're going, and then on different searches, they have a completely different format where it's not like we see it when we search for junk removal. It's something completely different. Um, so, and then, let me backtrack. So lots of ads, and Google is now, this is not facts, this is just opinion. Google is capitalizing on their ownership of the search volume that they have on the business side of things. So, and they and this is what I've heard again from pretty high sources, that they've stopped working on their product. They've stopped developing. They're basically too big to fail. That's how they look at it. So they're just maximizing their profits on Google Ads, and yeah, that's what I heard. I've heard they actually raised their rates without telling people because nothing has changed. If you understand the bidding structuring of Google Ads, like, yeah, there is going to be, some people, if the market is saturated by Google ads, um, the cost per bid will go up. But like it is right now, I don't know. I don't know. And so the lead quality is worse now too. Not just the cost per click and cost per acquisition. Uh, the lead quality is worse. So we were spending about $300 per every conversion. That's like a
Wow.
phone call. That's horrible. Or like a job. And the job
And
itself,
I heard it was like $60, like, 2 years ago or something around that. Is that, yeah, so it's up like
I mean,
five.
no, it's not $60. I mean, maybe in some markets, but $100 per acquisition is pretty much where it was and where it should have stayed. But it's like at 300 now. You're getting one click that sometimes could be like $60, which is just stupid
Wow.
because I mean, you need like 10 conversions to get like three three calls.
That's
Sorry,
expensive.
you need like 10 clicks to get three conversions, and out of those three conversions, you'll actually book one.
So one out
So
of 10. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, so
So
uh,
with that being said, man, what is a good for say a new company is just coming out and starting in 2025? What's a good marketing strategy? What way should they go? Because it seems like
yeah,
Google Ads is kind of expensive and dangerous, to begin with.
yeah. So um, the first thing that you need to do when you're starting out is you need a website, and as long as that website is mobile optimized, desktop optimized, SEO optimized, you should be getting leads locally. Like, go for it, register your business, and this is a whole. I can basically do a whole course on this of how to actually start a business and how you need to start it. So, get yourself a Google My Business listing. Um, Start getting reviews on there. Get yourself a website. Make sure it's obviously highly, like, it's good, designed well, mobilely optimized, desktop, iPad, mobile, and then you can grow it, but you can just leave it alone for now. 6-page website should be fine when you're starting out. Um, Make sure it's locally optimized for your city that you're in. Because if you try to target the bigger city, you're not gonna get anywhere because the big guys have been doing that for years. Um, so that's one thing. Another thing that we're actually experimenting right now, we're learning about this ourselves right now. We've ran Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that stuff, but we've never really highly targeted with creative videos. We've done creative videos before with like reels and stuff like that, but not like with high quality, high video production on Instagram and running Instagram ads and then building funnels around there. We're actually jumping into that right now, and we're experimenting. We're going to be doing that from our marketing agency, and then probably our junk removal business as well if we want to. We're doing that, and then honestly, like, even if you were new, and we can help with this if you guys are looking for something like this. If you get a CRM, like a software, any CRM that helps you, that has a phone number that you can basically, that people can call that phone number, and then it can get tracked in the CRM. That's what we do, and then you can start texting those clients through your CRM. That's what we do as well. So all those things combined, if you keep track of your list, keep your list. Your list is probably the most valuable thing that you have in your business, because it's your customers. But
What should be part of that list? And I got to say, this was one of the parts that you gave during the expo that it got my radar up, and I was like, wow, something so simple, and never really thought of that. And it was like perfect timing because I'm just about to kick off my business, and I'm like,
yeah,
I just did my job the other day. I'm like, oh, I got to make sure to make my list. I put down their phone number, their email, their address. Is there anything else that I want to include in that info?
as long as you have their first name, their last name, obviously address for, you got to know where your client lives, uh, and phone number. Email is okay-ish. I mean, no one really uses email anymore. for especially for business. I mean, you can if you want to. It's so hard to set up your system nowadays because everything is considered to be a cold email. Um, yeah, but all those things, keep it in Excel format or CSV format. Um, as long as you have that, if you put it into a software, you will automatically be able to export your list to other softwares in the future if you want to, utilize texting or other things. So those are the main things that you need. Other than that, you should be good, man. As long as you have their cell phone and their first name, you can always reach out to them, and yeah, that way.
What's your recommendation for CRM to use? What do
Well,
you
I mean,
personally
my
guys
boy
use?
Andrew Thompson is, growing his
I was
CRM.
just
So
I was about to shout that out if you weren't going to say that. Shout out to our man Andrew
autopilot,
Thompson.
you know
He's
what
the
I
man.
mean?
Check it out,
we use
Autopilot. I'm one of
we
those investors, proud to
yeah,
say an investor of it.
yeah,
Love it,
no.
man.
He,
And
he's a great dude. He's a great dude. Obviously a dispatch. So there's a difference between there's all types of different CRMs out there. So there's a financial CRM that tracks finances, all this stuff. There's a dispatch CRM. There's a marketing CRM. What we have is a marketing CRM, even though we have capabilities in our software to, because what we basically do, and I don't hide this from anyone, we white label Go High Level. So everything that Go High Level does, we do. So even if you guys wanted to like basically get Go High Level for $99 and use it yourself, go through us. We'll charge you the same thing. You can have me to ask how to set up, and you get a free course. Anyways, so marketing CRM, dispatch CRM. A dispatch CRM, what it does is it helps you schedule your jobs. It helps you keep track. You can basically communicate with your clients there as well. And what's it called? It helps you track your finances. So that's what a dispatch CRM is supposed to do at a high
so
rate.
does Autopilot have that on that, or will they have that?
I don't know. Andrew has been basically texting with me, asking me for recommendations and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure because Andrew has used Go High Level before as well. I helped him a little bit with it before in the past with some texts. But he basically experiments. I mean, he's a software developer, so he basically experiments. He's used Workies, he's used House Call Pro, so have I. So he knows all the things that are very necessary for junk removal owners. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be in there. So
Okay.
probably.
And you mentioned they got one for finance also, CRM. Do you
Well,
recommend getting a bookkeeper when you first start, or should we keep our own books at the beginning until business starts bumping? What's your recommendation as far as that?
yeah, I
Keeping
mean, it
track.
all depends on your capital. If you got the capital for it, I would probably recommend just getting someone and managing all for you. Obviously, QuickBooks is probably the best thing out there with considered
So,
finances. There's a couple other ones too.
so the best recommendation would be saying like, get QuickBooks and then hire like a bookkeeper to do your monthly payroll and all.
Yeah, I mean, there's what's this software called? I use this software. Andrew actually recommended it to me. It's called House something House. It's basically it tracks your finances and it does payroll for you. It's pretty simple to use. Yeah, I mean, QuickBooks can do all that for you if you learn how to use it. And it's probably best for you to have QuickBooks as well, so that way your guy, whoever you hire, can just log in there and do it for you, and then you can add because you still need to do some sort of accounting for your business, like even adding the things to there. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I mean, I never really hired anyone to do my QuickBooks. If you're a young guy like me, if you're starting out and you barely have money, man, you're not thinking about all these intricates. You know what I mean? You're just trying to get by, honestly, and that's how I was. I was just trying to get by. I'm not spending no $500 a month on a bookkeeper. You know what I mean? That's not happening. I'd rather take that money and reinvest it in my business, and I would just hire someone to do my taxes at the end of the year. You know what I mean? So If you're starting out and you have the capital, go for it, but you got to be frugal with your finances as well. So probably it's not needed, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking notes on all this kind of stuff, man, because that was something that came up the other day, and they're like, "Are you going to get a bookkeeper?" Because with my other businesses, I use a bookkeeper and a payroll service, and I'm like, I'm not really sure yet because I don't have many jobs, and I feel like, I feel kind of bad just burning the money, paying them monthly right now when there's not many jobs coming in, and I could pretty much do it myself. So I think I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to go to QuickBooks route, see how it goes. If business starts picking up real soon, then go with the bookkeeper route after that.
Yeah, there you go, man.
So I want to do a quick plug, and guys, if you guys are listening, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please click that thumbs up. Also, get over to Ivan's channel, Ivan Kravtsov. He's got an amazing YouTube channel, lots of great knowledge over there. So get over to his channel, show some love, and click that subscribe button. Also, want to shout out my man Kevin Hess. If you guys haven't already, make sure to go over to Amazon and get yourself your own copy of Leading with Purpose by Kevin Hess. He amazing guy, knows so much stuff in junk removal. And I was telling everybody the other day, I grabbed a bunch of these at the Junk Expo, and I had Kevin autograph them all because I'm going to be doing some giveaways. We did one the other day, and somebody won their own copy. So yeah, definitely we'll be doing that in the coming week. So if you haven't got your copy, definitely tune in and you'll find ways to win one over there. And then also got to check out this series from Xavier, Junk Removal Secrets. Oh my God, just so much great info in here. He's got 2 books out right now. He's got another one on its way. But show some love, man. These guys been in the industry for a very long time. They're OGs. They really know all the intricate details that a lot of newbies could benefit from. So definitely get over to Amazon and get your books over there. And we were talking about earlier, Autopilot is it is the great software that is helping the junk removal industry. I got it. I came one of the investors right away as soon as I found out about it. I really believe in Andrew Thompson, and I already started putting it into play. I got 5 tracking numbers with joining up with Autopilot, and I already put them on. I put one of them on my truck, so any phone number, any business I get from there, I know it came from my truck. I got another number for my yard signs and my door hangers, and I'm just kind of going to be able to track where all the business is coming in from. So if you haven't already, get over to Autopilot. He's got an amazing deal right now. He's in beta testing, so he's got a real big discount out there. So definitely get over there and check that out. Really appreciate that. And then, yeah, before we call it a day, brother, I just had a couple other questions I just wanted to run through with you. And one of those was, how do you handle the different seasonal fluctuations in the demand for junk removal services? Like in the wintertime right now, I'm seeing a lot of posts out there and people are saying, oh, business is slow, and, people are kind of bugging out and all. And just trying to figure out, like, how do you balance everything out?
Yeah. How eventually I get used to it. Sometimes the slow seasons would just like freak me out, man. I'm like, oh my God, I got payroll. I gotta, you know what I mean? I got all these bills I gotta pay, and it's slow as shit. And junk removal is well, I say this all the time. It's like junk removal is like it's the moods of junk removal is probably worse than your ex girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's really bad sometimes. But I mean, what I would recommend honestly is just go out, network, get moving, get some stuff done in the slow seasons. Don't forget to work out. Keep your body healthy. You know what I mean? Keep your mental sharpness going. Um, and it'll pick up. It always fluctuates. But for a new guy, if you're just starting out, you don't necessarily have a list to retarget. If you're a company that's been in business for a few years, winter is a great time to do some texting campaigns. Just text your customers. And if you don't have softwares to do it, get your phone out, text your customers from your phone. If you don't have a lot, it won't take you long at all. As long as you make
What's like a safe timing to text them, because some customers might get a little annoyed if you're texting them like every week or so. So like, what's the frequency that you would separate those texts?
Yeah, a month to a month and a half to 2 months, something like that. Anywhere between 1 to 2 months. It's a good time. Enough time passes where one message that you send them won't hurt them. Just be like, hey, we're gonna be in your area. You got any junk you need hauled? It's super simple. And if they say, opt out, the cool thing, the very cool thing for new guys when you're just starting out, this technique works really well. If you have an iPhone, if you have an iPhone and it's a blue chat, and if you send your customers from a blue chat, they know it's from you, and they cannot respond with out or stop. You know what I mean? They can't do that. It's from you. They know it's handwritten, you know? So that's the cool thing when you're just starting out and you keep your list. If you only have 30 people on your list, 50 people, 100 people, they can't unsubscribe. Text them every few months, So, I mean, it works. And then you can also text them like, hey, could you give me some referrals? Whatever. Like, do you have any friends or family that need junk removal? Just keep me in mind. You don't have to be like, do you have any? Just like, hey, if you have any, just keep us in mind. We're a family owned business, family owned and operated. We would love more work. It's a little slow right now. We would love more work. People love helping out new guys as well. So and local.
Do you offer any kind of referrals for anything? Like you pay off anything or maybe something towards their next job?
Through text message?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I avoid all types of discounts, off, all that stuff. It doesn't look good. As soon as, I mean, think about it. If you get a message and the message shows anything off or discount, coupon, your brain automatically turns it off. You're not responding to that message. Nuh-uh. It needs to be phrased as a question, and it needs to be very personal, and it needs to be very humanized. So
Okay, now do you do it as like individual text or do you do like the mass blast, like through your list where you could just, press one button and it sends a mass text to everybody, or do you want it like personalized to each client?
So it's personalized to each client, but it's one message. But there's a thing called custom values, where custom values could be a person's first name. So the software will pull the person's first name, and it'll send them the text message. So it'll show something like, "Hey John, this is Ivan with Junk Guys. Hey, we're going to be in your area. Wanted to see if you had any junk you need hauled. Thanks so much. Let me know." Something like that.
And now what service is that has that people could sign up and use these SMS campaigns and all?
It's our software. We white
Ah,
label it. It's called Thriving Home Services.
Thriving Home Services.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna put in a description. I'm gonna put that link to your website and
Sounds good.
so
Yeah,
guys, if you guys want
They
to
can go
check
on
it
their
out.
website, book a call with me, and then we'll get on the call. Whatever. I'm building some other things right now that'll make the process a lot smoother. But yeah,
What's some goals you got going on, man, for your future? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
dude. So right now, for the last 3 4 months, I've been kind of MIA as well from social media, from everything. I've been under the radar. So we've been still doing SMS marketing. We're still doing that. That is still a pretty good service that we offer. Works pretty great. But for the last 4 months or even longer, we've been in the trenches, developing our SEO team, our WordPress design team, and our content writing team. So we have three staff members now, and we just launched our 150 page WordPress site. That's fully SEO optimized, on page optimized. It's kick ass, man. And then now we're building our agency site as well. So we're starting to gear up. So some of my goals and our business model is going to be different from other like website design companies where they'll charge you $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 for a website. We're going to do it by monthly. We're just going to do it monthly rate, broken down however much the website costs. We're going to do like a 24-month. If you want to pay it off faster, you can do that as well. But just so like new guys can start up pretty easily, a 6-page website. It's going to cost you like $175 a month. But our goal with that is we want to at least have about, by the end of the year, we want to have at least about 50 clients that we're working with for websites, and then we want to have about around 15 SEO clients. So that's our next goal.
And what about with the junk removal business? How many trucks do you have up and running, daily?
Yeah, so that business, I'm just keeping that business around for my pops. He still needs to exercise. He's still doing the jobs with me. I help him out for my communication. He doesn't speak English, so he this is kind of his only thing that he can do. So I'm literally just keeping that business around for his sake. If it wasn't for him, I would have sold that business a long time ago. So I'm not in the process of growing it. We are, growing our internet presence with the SEO stuff and all that stuff. If it explodes, sure, we'll grow it, but that's not where my focus is. I need to focus on the agency itself for now.
Because I was just about to say, bro, like, how are you balancing all your time now? Because I hear with this thriving home services, it's got to be a lot of time to take up, and then also be running a junk removal business, But it all makes sense now that you're helping out your pops, and I mean, these kind of help each other out. They kind of complement each other. So that's
and
very cool.
and the thing about the home service industry, and the reason why I service the home service industry, is because it comes so naturally to me. Like, it really, like, everything that we get now is organic for the junk removal business. So it doesn't really take too much from us. It doesn't take too much of my energy. A couple jobs take us a couple hours. That's it. If that. So yeah, just keeping the business around for him, and but my focus is solely on the agency when it comes to networking and all that stuff, and then managing the employees, and then building, and then having new ideas, and then obviously my own personal life. So I got to be focused on this full time.
And then one last question. This is separate from junk removal. What's something like a hobby or something about you that people might be surprised about, that they might not know?
I mean, surprise. Oh yeah. So I actually sing.
Oh, wow. Okay. What kind of music?
What was that?
What kind of music do you sing?
So I sing worship. So I'm a Christian. I sing. I just worship. Sing. Been doing that for since I was 18. So yeah, I just sing. Yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
probably the biggest surprising one that probably not a lot of people know about me.
Waiting for you to be like, yo, I play basketball. I'm in a basketball league or something.
Yeah.
That was like my first.
No, I mean,
seeing
that's not a surprise. I am. I play
Yeah.
basketball. I play pickleball. I play all types of sports. Yeah, I'm pretty athletic when it comes to sports. So I'm like, and competitive.
Nice, very nice, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on today, bro. It was a great interview. Learned a lot about you, my man, and you got some great services that you guys provide. So, guys, if you haven't already, like I said before, get over to his YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe over there. Also, go check out his website, thrivinghomeservices.com. He can help you out with some SMS campaigns, digital marketing. You can see he's really knowledgeable in that field for the junk removal industry, or any home service industry, that is. So definitely check him out over there. And is there any other shout outs you'd like to do? Any other social media platforms you'd like to shout out before we call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Those are the two main ones that I'm on there. So I'm posting reels, posting videos on there, making, honestly, Facebook is more of like my inspirational place where I get thoughts, kind of like Twitter, where you get a thought where you're like, oh, this really, typically I get like creative thoughts when I'm walking, and I'm like, oh, this is some good wisdom that people can use. So I put it on Facebook. And then sometimes on Instagram as well. But I'm about to start doing a lot of things on Instagram, so that's going to be good. Stay tuned for that.
Hell yes, we'll definitely make sure to check that out. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're on social media on Facebook, check me out. Forget About It, Junk Removal. We're all over there, and I'm going to be very active now. Going to keep consistent with the interviews. I'm back, and we're up and running. So we're going to be doing on truck content as well. You get to come along with me as I bust my ass and make this junk into cash, guys. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and have a great night, Ivan. It was great talking with you, brother.
Good to talk to you, brother. All right, take
Later.
care.